Welcome to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say I'm really grateful for your continued support. Joe Bidden has invited Raila Odinga for a meeting in the US. According to the communication from Raila Odinga's personal assistant, Mr. Dennis Onyango, Raila will jet out of the country on Saturday, tomorrow, and he will arrive in Washington, D.C. on 12th. There is a summit, a US African summit that Raila Odinga is going to attend in his personal capacity as the African Union High Representative for Infrastructure and Development. And Dennis Onyango explains that this meeting is taking place from 13th to 15th of December. Thereafter, Raila Odinga is going to meet other groups like the civil rights groups where they are going to discuss matters and is going to give lectures on democracy. That is the communication that Dennis Onyango gave on his Twitter handle. But there is something that is hidden, and I really feel that it is not all about a US African summit. Before we delve into this, ladies and gentlemen, allow me with profound humility to request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and give our videos many likes. You see, Raila Odinga of late has decided to consolidate his support base. And the rally that he held in Kamkunji really sent shockwaves within the corridors of the current government. And this forced William Ruto to reach out to the big boys, the US, the UK, and the other international community nations. And this is why Raila Odinga, after promising his supporters that he was going to hold a parallel celebration, Jamhuri celebration in Jacaranda, he cancelled this meeting in a manner that no one can explain. And so by going to the Washington, D.C. to attend this meeting, something comes to mind. Yesterday, the leader of minority, Opiyo Wandayi, who announced to the nation that they had cancelled the planned Jacaranda rally, said that there were engagements that Raila Odinga was waiting for confirmation. And he said that these confirmations just came yesterday. And that is where I have a point. Because I believe that the international community was still trying to weigh the muscles and see if Raila Odinga still has the strength. Because the truth is, they thought that after Raila Odinga did not succeed for the 5th time in becoming the president of Kenya, he was going to be tired, he was going to go home, and his supporters were going to be disillusioned, and they were not going to heed to any call from Raila Odinga. But they have realized that Raila Odinga has undergone complete metamorphosis and is now galvanizing his support. He rallied his support with people like Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, and even the Jubilee wing that almost slipped away is coming back. And so the international community realizes that Raila Odinga is still a force to reckon with. So they have decided to call him, and I know after the US Africa Summit, they are going to have another meeting on the sidelines. And among the other things that they are going to talk about is number one, they want Raila Odinga to stop the planned rallies and demonstrations because they humiliate William Ruto. They show the numbers that he still has. If there are 4 things that I believe US, the UK, and the other international community understands very well, and they have a hand in them, they include how William Ruto ascended to power. US understands very well how William Ruto ascended to power, and they have a hand in it. Number 2, the ouster of the Cherera team, Juliana Cherera, Justus Nyang'aya, Irene Masit, and Francis Wanderi, the 4 dissenting commissioners. US and international community know very well what is happening, and they have a hand in it. Number three is the cancellation of the Jacaranda meeting. This is something that they know and they have a hand in it. And the final one is the planned creation of official opposition's leader. These are four things that the US understands. And I believe that they are going to form the basis of a meeting with Raila Odinga. Back at home, both the government and the opposition side are planning to create this office, official opposition leaders office, which will be fully funded by the exchequer. And they're giving Raila Odinga leeway to appoint his people in the other constitutional bodies. For example, of late, the Azimio has complained that William Ruto wants to kick out the 4 commissioners, and Chebukati and the other 2 commissioners have got their terms ending in January. So they feel that William Ruto wants to constitute a body that will be loyal to him so that he can easily ascend to power in 2027. Now, with the creation of the official opposition leaders office, Raila, together with Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Jeremiah Kioni, and all the other affiliate parties, will be able to nominate their own representatives into such bodies, so that when there is something of a national stake, then they will also be part of it. Raila or any other person in that office will be given a leeway to address the 2 houses, the National Assembly and the Senate, once in a year. And Raila Odinga will also be one, when he's in office, he will be immune to jail, just like the president is. So these plans are coming at a time when they know very well that Raila Odinga is complaining that people have to talk down, to sit down and talk on matters that are bedeviling Kenya. Because Raila has always said that he's got about 8 million people who voted for him and who still swear their allegiance to him. And that is why he's saying that these people are also taxpayers and they should be included in the national cake. So while in US, in the Washington, D.C., I believe the US government is going to tell Raila to tone down so that they can give him an office. Whether taking this office is something that you support or you don't is something that is debatable. But if you ask many, they will say that since he is given an opportunity to nominate representatives into very weighty offices, constitutional bodies, so some will say that it's a good thing. And whether this office is going to make Raila stronger or weaker is something that we also have to wait and see. So I believe that in Washington, they are going to tell him to tone down. They are going to sell to him the idea of this office. Number 2, Raila has talked about things like the GMO. And the GMO has become a very weighty matter that is attracting a lot of debate. Currently, it is lying in the court. The court halted its implementation. And you all understand that at the heart of Ruto's agreement with the USA is accepting the GMO materials to be consumed in Kenya. And you all know that Raila Odinga led other groups to oppose this. When he talked, the Catholic Church came and opposed this, farmers opposed it, and all the stakeholders. Raila has always said that we need all the stakeholders to come out and be incorporated to discuss this before it is implemented. So you might see Odinga coming back, and you will see maybe the government incorporating all the other stakeholders to talk about it, so that when it is finally implemented, Odinga will be home and dry, that everyone has been included. The other thing that I believe they are going to talk about in Washington, D.C. is to ensure that Raila does not hold any other demonstration. William Ruto has always cried foul that whenever we go to the streets, he's still picking up the pieces of the government. He's only trying to restructure its government after taking it from Uhuru Kenyatta. And he knows very well that when he goes to the streets, when people go to the street, then it means that we are going to lose revenue. People are not going to work. And with the unemployment rate rocketing high, there are very many youths who are idle and they will go to the streets. Another thing that William Ruto does not want is that when the Azimio supporters converge together, they will be reminding Ruto of the failed promises. And if there is something that can lead to revolution, is the reminding youths what the government had promised them and has not delivered. So he does not want it to reach that level. That is why he reached out to the US so that they can talk to Raila Odinga. I will not be surprised to see William Ruto also jetting out of the country, maybe towards the end, because it is this summit is ending in 15th, and then Raila will be there for maybe another 2 days. So I won't be surprised to see William Ruto also jetting out of the country so that they can go and talk. You see, at the face value, William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua has always said that we are not going to talk to Raila Odinga. No. You know, Raila wants to get into the government through illegal handshake. But at the back of their mind, they know very well that sooner or later, they must sit down and have a national conversation. And if it is talking and having a national conversation that will talk about reconciling the nation, uniting Kenyans, and how to work for the benefit of our country, that is a meeting that I will fully support. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take about Raila's tour to the US. I don't know what you think. You can tell me in the comment section.